In the previous episode, we took a deep dive into the buttstock of the Tac-A1. In this episode, we're going to dive into the chassis. If you haven't seen the buttstock video, we'll put a link somewhere up here. The chassis is what the Tac-A1 is all about. It is incredibly rigid, it's stout, it has a significant amount of mass to it, and that's why these rifles shoot so well out of the box. It is designed to be a precision rifle out of the box with really little to no add-ons that you need to do. First, we're going to start with the forend. To remove the forend, we're going to remove our muzzle brake. And you can use the 3mm Allen key that Tikka provided. I found that just a standard L wrench is a higher quality one than Tikka provided. So just make sure you have a nice high quality 3mm. Take your time so you don't strip these heads. I wish everybody would use Torx for these things. I know Torx hardware is significantly more expensive, but it's so much better. Very carefully separate the forend so we don't damage the barrel in the process. Remember in the first episode, I explained how the forend attaches with what Tikka said was an AR-15 M4 style barrel nut. That is not the case. This is the attachment point for the forend, and it actually bolts on to the top rail as well as the bottom section of the main body of the chassis. We're going to remove these 3 screws to take this off. But before we do that, let's take a moment to check out the forend. The forend's pretty simple. It's a kind of standard M-lock full Picatinny rail forend, something that you would see on something like an AR-10 or a more robust chassis system where they're not trying to save weight. And it's held in place by these 2 bolts that go all the way through, and they thread in on the other side. There's a split here, so that way you can actually, clamp around the mounting. We won't call it the barrel nut, but it's the mounting piece on the chassis itself. The nice thing about it is that it's keyed, and because this keyed shape matches the attachment point, it's not going to rotate. Additionally, the rear bolt goes through a notch on the mounting point, again, to keep this from being able to rotate. If you were, running and gunning hard, putting a lot of torque on here, it's going to stay put. So our forend mounting adapter is attached with 3 bolts that all have 3mm heads. But it is very important if you're taking this apart to keep them in the right order, because the 2 bottom ones are a different type of bolt than this top one. Let's take these out. I'll give you a closer look. All right, so we removed our 3 retention bolts. And let's take a look at our forend mounting adapter. Actually, pretty neat system. So you can definitely tell this goes to a gas gun, most likely a Valmet that Sako Tikka makes. None of this geometry actually matches anything on here. And they just machined the chassis to match this piece. This port right here is where a gas tube would go. You have a little relief right here. Again, I don't know. I'm just guessing that this goes to a gas gun that we don't have access to. It's a steel piece. It's not aluminum, so this is rather stout. It's kind of perfect for what it is, holding out our forend nice and firm. All right, now taking a look at the back of the chassis body, you can see where this QD mount, it's a little offset and at about, probably about a 30-degree angle back here. This is removable with a 4mm Allen key. And I've left the grip on for last because I've actually been using the grip to give me a little more leverage on some of these very, very tight bolts. Oh yeah, it's got a little blue Loctite on it. As I said in one of the other episodes, they don't want you taking this apart. But if you're going to have a cool rifle like this, you might as well Cerakote it, do something fun with it, and know how it works. So a nice one-piece, well-machined mount. And the only thing we have left on here is our grip. The Tac-A1 utilizes a standard AR-15 grip. At a 45-degree angle in here is a 3/16 socket head cap screw. They give you a nice little compartment. I don't know what you can keep in there. Skittles are good. To open this, take your bullet nose, or the nose of a bullet, and push that in. You usually would use a 3/16, but I have my metric Allen key set in here. 5mm. 5mm is almost exactly 3/16, so we're not going to damage that bolt. The 5mm T-handle that the rifle comes with is not long enough to get past this door, which is why I use one of my L keys. And it's in there. There we go. Pretty standard fare for your AR-15. It even has the little detent here for your safety spring. Just so I don't lose it, I'm going to put my bolt in my grip, close that hatch, set that to the side. We are now ready to remove the chassis body that everything mounts to from the action. Be right back and grab T-handle. Alright, back with my T-handle. Doesn't really matter which one you loosen first. I'm just using the 5mm T-handle that came with the rifle. Take this off, and you have a standard T3X action. This is a pretty normal fare for Tikka. The only thing that makes this rifle different than, let's say, a T3X Rough Tech is the furniture. So the action's the same. The barrel profile, this is a CTR barrel profile, so kind of a medium weight barrel profile. Obviously, I think I said before, this one's a 24-inch rifle. This is, at its core, it is just a standard Tikka T3X. Here is everything that makes up the Tac-A1 from Tikka. The next challenge, I got to put it all back together. We're going to put an optic on this thing. We can take this out to the field, show you how it performs in a real world environment. And while you're waiting for us to put all this back together, check out this video here and dive further down the Tikka rabbit hole.